Quick, Verona news in 10 seconds. Lukaku looks 16 to 90% like he's coming to Rome. Jose Mourinho is disqualified again for Verona, Roma. Renato Sanchez is hurt, and the team actually is looking really good right now. Oh, and Azmoun comes in from Bayer Leverkusen. There you go. Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you. See, I got that all done for you very quick if you don't have a lot of time. But in fact, we have a big episode coming up. We're looking at the Gazzetta dello Sport's predicted lineups. We're talking Jose Mourinho press conference. Very honest, very calm. Like seeing it. It was interesting. We're talking about my awesome PESCARA shirt with the dolphins on it, which was designed by a child during COVID. We're going to look at some tweets of the week. And I hope, you guys could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me. That's a quote. I don't know who it's from, but it is Friday night. Hope you're having a good one. And it's one of the last ones of the summer. It's so crazy. I feel like August has flown by. Last weekend, I was, out looking at dolphins. It's one of my favorite animals. That's why I have this shirt, by the way. And it just seems like it's been so quick. The season's here. It's already round 2. International break will be here before you know it. Renato Sanchez has already pulled a quad. So it's like, I feel like life is in warp speed right now. In New Jersey, it's raining, and it's not even that warm. It's a little strange. New York, New Jersey. I live very close to the city. Roma Club New York is having another event. They had a lot of people who came out last week against Salernitana, and you can bet that tomorrow as well there will be a lot of people here. Let me know where you're going to be watching from, whether it's somewhere that's not a club. Maybe it's at your home. Maybe it's at a pub. Maybe it's with some friends. Maybe it's at the stadium, if you're lucky, in Verona. So let me know what you think. Okay, guys, I see some comments coming in. Thank you, and keep them coming in as well. What is up, Omar? It is nice to see you, my friend. Serdar gives me those Melito Inter vibes. Diego Melito, one of the best strikers to watch of his time. Paul, you don't take a break from Roma if that's how you feel. Paul he's feeling it right now. He's going through it. Paul's one of our gladiators of this channel. He's always around doing good stuff. Okay. Why am I wearing a PESCARA shirt? Because I love dolphins, man. Look at this. It's one of my favorite animals. So I really like this shirt. I got it during COVID. Government gave us $1,300. I bought myself a pair of skis and a PESCARA jersey. So that's how I spent Donald Trump's money. Well, actually, it was our money that Donald Trump gave us. John's in here. He says, absolute monstrous job you're doing. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, great to see you do a video translation. Yeah, we're going to get to that. Thank you, my friend. And also, on Twitter, you could see the full transcript translated from Italian into English today. If you want, go on Twitter and check it out. It actually did really, really well as far as engagement goes. We'll be getting to those comments about Sanchez as well. So first off, where do we begin, guys? I think we should look at the Verona predicted formations. We're also going to take a look at some of the comments around Roma's radio, the radio stations in Rome. So I'm going to share this from Gazzetta dello Sport. Finally, like I said, using my subscription to some good use here. And here we go. I'll make that a little bit bigger for you. This is what we've got going on. This is predicted. Maybe I'll put the banner up. I did go through the trouble of making a banner just so we could see that a little bit clearer. And so if you want to see that, that's exactly it. That is correct. I updated that right before. Mancini, Smalling, Llorente, Rui Patricio for sure. Zalewski is the change. Why? Because Spinazzola looked rusty against Salernitana. Aouar is there for sure. I think that if Aouar's fit, Jose will use him every single game this season. That guy, that young man, is a delight on the ball. And people told me good things about him before he joined the Roma. I was concerned about the situation, mentality, what was happening in Lyon. It's not all the time that you see somebody from their boyhood club come to a disagreement and like some type of problem. What do we also see here is Cristante taking a more defensive role for the return of Lorenzo Pellegrini, who will be playing more as a mezzala here along with Aouar. I think when it comes to that differentiation between an intermedio and a mezzala, I would say that the mezzala is a little bit more forward, a little bit more creative thinking. And I wonder if Pellegrini is going to be more of the box-to-box in this situation. That'll be something we'll see tomorrow. Christensen on the right. Why? Why not Karsdorp? I wouldn't say that it won't be Karsdorp. I think that Christensen, maybe 50-50. Why is he going with him? Not sure. Maybe Mourinho wants to go a little bit more defensive against Doige, who he's probably expecting to go far up the flanks. And let's take a look also at the striker situation. It will be Belotti. It will be Dybala. So we have two players coming back. The only omission will be that of Jose. He's not going to be there. He's disqualified still. If there's any player that really makes you tremble on this Hellas Verona side, let me know, because I look at this cast of characters and I'm like, I'm going to look at their schedule and what's been going on with them. They've got Sassuolo and Bologna coming up. They started off with a win against Empoli. Empoli got gutted. Lost Vicario. Baldanzi is still there. I wish Roma would grab him. I think a lot of us feel like that. And that lineup, I'll just show it to you here. This is how they lined up against Empoli. So similar to what we see here, Coppola, Magnani, Davidovic in the back. These are probably their best assets. Last time that Roma played Verona, the one thing that got under my skin was that they kind of played like butchers. They were late into the tackles. They were late pretty much everywhere. They didn't really go out and play. It's what you would expect maybe from like a 90s, early 2000s side that didn't really evolve tactically. So what I await is a similar game. I also forgot that Caputo went to Empoli. He's not doing so hot anymore. He's getting up there in the years, though. I mean, Caputo, France Caputo, Chicho. Until they call him Chicho Caputo, I think. And as we look here on the bench as well, Cabral, not Cabral. Ricardo Saponara heads over. Milan Duric, he's one of their better players. Federico Bonazzoli, not the worst. Not the worst. They've got guys who've been around the league, we could say. Baroni, Marco Baroni, 59 years old. He's been around. So, does that say he was a... Oh, no, that's the scholar. Okay. I was going to say Marco Baroni, the scholar. No, I'm pretty sure the guy who used to play as a defender. So, here he is. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So, there's your starting formations. We got that on the underside there. And, Roma will be going definitely to a 3-5-2. We can expect that. There shouldn't be any tactical changes. So far, I think this formation works really nicely for Roma, for the players that are there right now. I think that this suits everybody pretty much to a T. Would I like to see a 4-2-3-1? Yeah, that's my preferred. That's like a personal formation. It's one that Jose has used in the past as well, whether it's 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. And now what we're seeing a lot too, especially from Ancelotti, is the 4-2-2-2. And I saw Roma things post a possible starting 11 in a 4-2-2-2, and I liked it. Do I think it's perfect for the way that Jose will set them? No, I don't think so. And you can never compare Real Madrid's tactics to Roma, because what Ancelotti does is he lets the players play free. He lets them do kind of like, he says, play to your strengths. If you want more about that, go to Tifo Football on YouTube and just look up Ancelotti tactics, because they have some incredible stuff on that website. I should say a YouTube channel. So I want to look at some comments real quick, and then we will head into the Jose Mourinho press conference. Okay. All of Roma's strikers, including the injured ones, are non-Roman. Yeah, well, it's because there was no money to get Scamacca, right? That would have been nice to have a homegrown boy back. I pray the Lukaku deal sails through. Me too. Germanicus is here. Thanks for the update, Paul. Let's not forget about Aouar Dybala combo in the friendly preseason games. Yeah, with Aouar pushing up so much into that space and those 1-2s with Paulo, I think that's going to be a great thing to see. Wael sent us on our WhatsApp group a great data sheet today, which shows the amortized amounts of how much Roma is actually putting out per year fiscally. And we're definitely going to take a look at that. So thank you, man. No, Jose is not sick of Cristante. He'll surely be a starter there, my friends. Famuel Republicano is here. Says, well done. Thank you. Here to give another update. Go for it. Lukaku's good. Thank you, Paul. Man, I'm missing some hostings right now, if I'm honest with you, my friend. I need a nice cookies and cream milkshake, some fries. You got to dip the fries in the milkshake. That's the only way. The closest thing I've had is I just started some protein powder, some organic protein powder, which is actually pretty good. Okay, what's going on here? It's flipping out, right? Yeah, Gazzetta dello Sport. That website needs a lot of work because it's got a lot of glitches like this and stuff. But I think before we get to the Mourinho press conference, is the comments are coming in about Romelu Lukaku. What would this look like? So there's apparently the most tracked flight in the world right now, which was Ryan Friedkin, the son's owner. I'm sorry, the owner's son, and Tiago Pinto flying to London to Stamford Bridge on a jet to meet to agree to get Lukaku to come on a loan deal. Why do I like this? Because Lukaku is a big game player, because he's won a Scudetto. He knows what it takes. He adds to not only be in the roster, but a guy who's probably going to be a starter with Belotti in the rotation. This is somebody who seriously helps with objectives. Yeah, but it's only a loan deal, you might say. Okay, but when we start to think about how financial fair play hangs over this club, it's really important that Roma does whatever they can, whether that might be selling youngsters or loaning in a guy who's definitely not going to play next year. It's important to get them in to reach the objectives now. Otherwise, every transfer season will start to look the same. Free transfers, getting rid of young guys, loaning players in, or taking risks on players like Renato Sanchez, right? The only thing that's going to break that and change that tide is if you reach objectives, is if you make the Champions League and you get that media revenue in. That's the only way, guys, because even if you're just in the group stages, you're talking like 60 million euros. What that does to Roma's budget changes the entire scenery of what the summers look like, of how the club can operate. So Champions League revenue cannot be emphasized enough for its importance. So Lukaku, anyway, he's on big wages. Yeah, we know that for sure. And you're gonna pay for him. And I think that's where the sale from Faticanti might come from. Now, there is a resell on. If Roma really wants Faticanti in the future, they'll probably be able to get him. A lot of these young players, they love Roma. They wait for Roma. Scamacca waited for Roma. It's unfortunate that the club couldn't bring him back. And now as we look at this amortization sheet here from AS Roma Data, really good Twitter account, we've got Osmoon comes in. The difference, so look to the right of your screen here, differenza. That's your cost per year compared to last year. So we can see that Abraham, no change. His salary hasn't changed. They're still paying the amortized value. He came in around 40 million euros. They got a 4-year contract. Wages are probably around like 8 or 10 million a year before tax. So no change there. Award, you don't pay for his transfer fee. So you got 0 on the left, 3.67 in salary. Easy. Belotti, same as last year. No difference. Wages, fiscal year remains the same. Kamara, you go plus because he's no longer there, so his salary is not affecting the budget. Selic, same. Cristante makes a little bit less, as if that calculation is correct. That might not have something to do with the salary, but actually the amortization is what I'm thinking there. Cristante would have made more. Dybala, same. El Shaarawy, less. So I believe El Shaarawy re-signed, right, guys? A couple months ago on a lesser salary. Ibanez gone, 4.5 in. And there's also the factor of his transfer fee coming in. Karsdorp, same. Christensen, add on salary there. It's just a loan deal. Kambula, less. Llorente, less. I'm sorry, Llorente, same. Lukaku, so the issue here, the 14, that's a big figure, right? Compared to what we've seen previously, is that that's all coming from salary. But Matic leaves. Indiga comes in. Paredes comes in, expensive. What's our next big fish here is going to be Wijnaldum at the bottom and Zaniolo. So right there, you're talking 15? Yeah, 15 million euros saved just off those two salaries. It's like for like. It's pretty much exactly the same as last year. So that's what this grid here is attempting to show, is that the actual expenditures will remain just about the same. So that's what makes all this possible. Getting rid of those players, those wages, getting them off the balance book, because ultimately Roma does have to comply with FFP. Stinks, but that is the reality. Okay, comments before we go into the presser. Yeah, Renato's not doing too good. What's up, Marco? Suns owner. He owns Phoenix Suns. Didn't I miss that? Who are we talking about? Owns the Phoenix Suns? Friedkins? No. Must be somebody else. Imagine our bench with Lukaku and Belotti, with Junkie says. And Fabio says these are gross salaries. Thank you. So that would be right before tax. Net would be after tax, what they actually take. So gross is what you want when it's being reported. Um, Fabio, so I'm thinking right now that that doesn't have anything to do with the transfer fees. If I'm correct, that's just the salaries. If you want to tell me if I'm wrong or not there. Ioannis is in here. Hello, my man. He says, I think if we get Romelu, the whole way the club attacks changes. Because between Asmun, Belotti, Elsha, and Dybala, the ways that we can set up the attack is much more dynamic and adaptable. This is something Mourinho will absolutely love. So, okay, thank you, Fabio. That's why that makes more sense. Schirmer says, Asmun over Lukaku. I think you're the minority in saying that. So Osman's cool. You know what? I looked into him yesterday and I was like, I got to learn a little bit more about this guy. And what I saw was a striker who really worked off the ball, one who provides for his teammates too, whether it's flick-ons, holding the ball up, working hard. So I saw a two-way forward, which I liked a lot. Sammy says, Lukaku will help with those clumsy passes where the defenders can't find a solution and end up giving the ball. Yeah, that's how I play center forward. When I play up top, I check a lot because I'm smaller. I'm not holding the ball up, but I always look to take advantage of a bad touch, a misplaced pass. When I was younger, I scored a lot of goals like that. So, yeah, it's interesting, man, what that team would actually look like with Lukaku up there. Let's break it down, my friends. This is the back end now. We're going to do the Moo presser. We're going to look at the Serie A schedule of the day. You know what? I'll throw it up for you. Just give you something to look at. I've got it right here. Match day 2. There we go. Okay. Take off the starting. No, we can keep the starting 11 there. Why not? Okay. Why was Asmun chosen? And what about Lukaku? He says he didn't do well at Leverkusen, and that's why we can loan him in. Otherwise, he would have just stayed in Germany. He's a player who can help us. Pinto told me that another striker will arrive, and so he makes me happy. If the other quality is a quality striker with Belotti and Asmun, we're talking about good options in attack. I am calm and wait. Tomorrow's game is more important than the market. Emphasize this right here. Good options. When is the last time you can remember Jose saying that anything about the incoming transfers were good? And here he's like, nah, this is decent. Like, I could work with this. I like that. What are you expecting in Verona and the 3,000 that will come to guest? Is at the Olimpico, there were a few people who wanted to play with us. He's calling out the crowd here. They were more interested in having a beer at halftime. If these 3,000 go to Verona in this heat, they go there to stay with the team. I played in Verona 2 years in a row with a defeat and a last-minute victory with a goal from Volpato. It has always been very difficult, and they have a very good new coach. They play in a different way from how Verona has played in recent years. We don't know if they will play like in the past or like the coach wants. We have prepared for both solutions. We have recovered Pellegrini and Dybala after the absence in the first game. We lost Renato, who has a small problem, not available. We want to leave Verona with 4 points in the standings. The name of the new striker. Pinto told me that the club will work to bring in a new striker with different characteristics from the ones that we have. I told him to work quietly like I'm doing. Is Lukaku and Asmun and Belotti not similar? I think they are. Like, different characteristics? Maybe Marcos Leonardo? I would like to see that happen in January. I think now if you're talking about Marcos, that's a different skill set. That's not a target forward. That's a guy who would combine and play smooth, slick football with Dybala. New purchases. We have to adapt to the risks we have. People understand that. It's no surprise that Renato can't play tomorrow. Just look at his history. If he doesn't have these injuries, he'd be a regular at PSG. He's admitting like the fact that we could get Renato Sanchez is because of that injury history. So yes, look guys, there is going to be this injury theme throughout the season for him. Let's not get it twisted. Roma knew what they were getting into with him, but they figured that the risk on him was worth the reward. There was some value in that. Same on Dybala. Many clubs had doubts about his condition, and so we managed to sign him. Also true. If Dybala was fit for 37 games out of 38, where do you think he would be? I mean, let's talk honestly here, guys. Right? Is he at Roma fighting to win a Europa League? No. He's fighting to win a Champions League. The kid's in Real Madrid. He's in Barcelona. No? Eh. We are specialists in coaching people like this with a great past and potential. We know how to work with these players by getting the best out of them to get them back to the top level. People must not think of things that cannot be thought of. Perhaps you were surprised to see me so calm. The wisdom, the sage that is Jose. Do you expect more than the attacker coming in and someone else going out? He says he used an interesting word, which is exit market. Let's see if the Saudi doesn't arrive for anyone, since anything can happen. The squad can improve, but also get worse until the end of the transfer market. The risk is there. Obviously, we only have 4 center backs, but we have 3 right wingers, Karstorp, Salik, Christensen, and we worked with them to get them to play right back. If someone is excellent, otherwise we carry on like this. I want all motivated players, even those who are playing less. There will be times when we need them. Solbakken as well. The championship is long, and there will be times when everyone will be needed. Saudi, who do you think that Mourinho is pondering whether or not Saudi Arabia will move in for them? I have a name definitely in my head that I think that there's Saudi interest that makes sense for me, like a player who I can see going to Saudi Arabia. Comment in right now. Who do you think Mourinho is referring to here? I don't think he would say it if he didn't really think that there was a possibility. With an extra striker, what goal do you set for yourself? 4th place? He says the problem is that the others have improved too, and we've spoken about this on this channel. My goal can't go beyond wanting to win the next game. I'm not capable of that. Lazio had a feast. I should say feast last year, but was on vacation in Europe. Atalanta has invested a lot. Fiorentina clearly said what they want. Turning down 45 million for a player says it all. Roma could never refuse such an offer for one of their players. Right. Roma is between 5th and 8th place with Lazio, Atalanta, and Fiorentina. I hope we can do it, but without being on holiday in Europe. Ooh, a little dig there at Lazio. He's right. I would like to see the team compete on all fronts. I would love to see a Coppa Italia win. I'd love to see 4th place. It would be amazing to see a deep run in the Europa League again. Add some respect into this name, win more European trophies. Okay, we're towards the back end here. We've got 2 more questions. Keep your comments coming in as well, please, what you think about everything here. What problem did Sanchez have? Is he only skipping Verona? He says, I think we'll see him again after the break. Maybe there will be a surprise, but due to his medical history, it's not right to push him to recover sooner. He had a small muscle injury. I expected the question about Pellegrini and Aouar and said you asked me about Paredes and Cristante. Good players can always play together. The coach must find the solution. Can Paredes and Cristante play together? Is that a bit too static? Maybe. Maybe it is. But I think it could work if you had Aouar and then you had Cristante busting his butt, playing good zone, and Paredes doing the same to supply Aouar. I think that would be for a team which is really going to pressure you. Maybe like if Milan really plays on the forefront, I could see that midfield trio going out there. It's not ideal, but I could see it. This year, there are 6 midfielders for 3 roles. Could you change formation by giving up a defender? He says, we did it against Salernitana when Smalling came out with Cristante going central. We can do it, but in the end, you see that tomorrow there aren't 6 but 5. And after next week, it will certainly be the last one with only 1 game a week. We have tomorrow and Milan, and then it's over. There will be Europe on Thursday and the Championship on Sunday. It's an area of the pitch where we have excellent solutions. Cristante, Paredes, Pellegrini, Aouar, Renato, Bove. Almost 2 names for the same profile. It also depends on the strikers we have. Pellegrini or Aouar can deputy for Dybala. I love this. I don't remember the last time that Roma did. I know that Renato's out and it's really 5 now. But when's the last time Roma had 2 for every position, 2 who played with similar profiles and can slot in? This is where you start to play chess, my friends. And I like this. This is where Roma has needed to be for a very long time. And now we see it. He ends the presser by saying, I'm happy for the midfield. I'm sorry for Renato because we missed that intensity. We're not fast. True. From the movement that Zaniolo left, we have also lost his depth and physical power. When Renato is well, he can be very important to us. It's true. The team is not the fastest. The midfield, like Aouar is super fit. When I think of like a fast midfield, Inter's, right? Fratesi is super fast. Barella, maybe 3 years ago, he was really fast. I think he's got an early prime on him. Even Çalhanoğlu can put in the miles. Roma's midfield, I would say, is like maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10 for speed. Maybe 6, but I would like to see maybe like Rodrigo De Paul come in. That would have been like my one dream signing. Okay, time for me to look at the comments. Let's go back. Let's stop sharing. What's up? I'm back. We got 31 people in here, guys. Do me a favor. If you're not subscribed, you know what to do. And if you haven't done it, do that. Do that. Wait, it's over here. No, there we go. Yeah, that right there. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Help the channel grow, my friends. So to the comments. Let's see what we got going on here. Marco's causing trouble, isn't he? Oh, I see the comments for the Saudi Arabia question. Okay. Lukaku will do good. Grazie, Fabio. Sami says Lukaku. Oh, yeah, we saw that. Forza Roma, Forza Lukaku. Damir's in here. If Lukaku comes, it would be the best outcome for Roma. Better than Morata and Scamacca. This is what I'm thinking, guys. I think that if an offer did come in, the one guy who would leave, who's probably, it just stings because Parisi is already at Fiorentina. I think that's the only way that I see that player's career going now is from Fiorentina, not to Roma, but a team which can pay more. Inter, well, not Inter because they're going to get Pavard, but Milan or Juve or even elsewhere. So, but then, scouting, go find a new left back, especially if that money came in 10, 15 million. I think Roma would seriously consider that, given that Spinazzola has big wages. I didn't think of that, Sammy, but that's a good shout. That is a good shout. By the way, I just got a follow last week. Chris Smalling, the man, follow me on Twitter. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm very excited, like a little schoolgirl. It's going to be bittersweet day once you are monetized, but it's definitely deserved. Do you think we'll get another defender before the window closes? Well, Jockey, thank you for that first. And I did say it when I started out here, that for the first 6 months, that if I do start charging like a subscription or something like that, all of that will be donated for the first half year. It's going to go to like an animal foundation, which, like something like this, like Save the Dolphins. Maybe not exactly that, but something of that sort. So if I do monetize, it's not just to take your money and spend it, I don't know. What do I like? Italian ceramics, paintings, weird stuff like that. Tequila. It won't be just for that. To answer your question, do you think we'll get another defender? I would like to see another center back come in. I don't think Kambula is coming back anytime soon. I wouldn't think until May. Season's over. So you got Llorente, Mancini, Smalling. Who's on the bench? Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody big. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys, who's on the bench? Who is it there? Smalling, Mancini, Llorente. Oh, Ndiga. Duh. Yeah, Ndiga. Okay. The only problem is for Belotti. He looks to be in great form, so if Lukaku comes, he'll get less time. Yeah, like Abraham did to Shomurodov. Very true. Saudis only want Cristante because he's the best midfielder in the world. Yeah, I heard that, Marco. I heard that they really they praise him over in Saudi Arabia. I heard they want to pay something like 50 to 70 million, up to 70 million with add-ons for Cristante. That's a good one, Spina. No. I would play. You guys are terrible. Lukaku, pay. Thank you guys. Very nice. Roma and Chelsea currently out to dinner right now. Who goes to the bathroom when the check comes out? Yeah, that's my move. Chelsea's got to pick that one up. If Roma's going to pay all that guy's salary, the best that the least that they could do is give Pinto a nice steak, getting him off their hands. What is up, Sven? How are you, man? And give a like. Thanks, Demir. Yeah, Asmu Medical went fine. Apparently, he's going to be able to be in training. So that's the last I heard, that there were some rumors like he wouldn't be able to go and play with the team right away, but that doesn't seem to be founded. If Lukaku comes, we can sell him to the side. No, so he's going to be a dry loan. Thank you, Namir. Wayne, I know this is a Pescara shirt, and I understand that a child made it, but the next time, at least a Roma shirt. It looks like it's not a Lazio shirt. Come on. Don't get clever on Photoshop right now. It's the last thing I need. Jeez. No. It's my Pescara shirt. It's my Marco Verratti shirt. Think of it like that. Player who I really like to watch. Anyway, there's a couple opinions here that I think are worth taking a look at from Radio Pensieri, the radio stations around Rome. Some of them are just ridiculous, but every once in a while, one of them makes sense. Giancarlo Padovan says Lukaku's tired of waiting for Juve. Seems to me that he prefers Italy over all the other leagues. Sandro Sabatini says, with Lukaku, Roma's going to do something big. Getting him in on a free, it's not a free, it's a loan, is a feat. And to take Pinto and the Friedkins to the Coliseum. It's the number one hit of the market session of the Mercato, he says. With Lukaku, Roma can fight for the Scudetto. If Abraham is also included, I have not heard anything like this, by the way, of Abraham being involved in this move. Telado Tokyo Ugo Trani says, Lukaku's situation was clear in January. He gives you that leap in quality, the salto di qualità, and you have to take him. The social revolt has definitely pushed Roma to throw itself into another negotiation. Doubt it. What he's trying to say is like the social media and the pressure in Rome to go sign a striker has made them sign not also Asmu, but also Lukaku. I don't really believe that. I don't think Pinto is caving in due to the social pressure. If Lukaku arrives, it's thanks to the fans. I don't really agree with that. Okay. Gianluca Langua says, I've always said that the Lukaku operation would only be possible on loan. Roma must make a very quick blitz because otherwise, if they wait even half a day, someone else is going to come in. And Roma's project was not to take Lukaku, but Scamacca or Morata. True. Lukaku and Sanchez are great players, but to perform at their best, they have to feel good. Isn't that true of any player? But maybe for these two, I see what he's saying. They need to be encouraged. They need to have faith in them. They need to be happy. Yeah, I definitely get that. Balzani says Chelsea opened up to the loan. There's still the issue of Juventus. Okay. He says the percentage is around 60%, but maybe even 90% thanks to Mourinho. Also, Antonio Felici says, I'm skeptical about Lukaku. He's attractive, but he's a player he would want. But somebody could suddenly wake up. Maybe another team comes in at the last minute, a little quick phone call. And the infamous Alessandro Austini says, Lukaku to Roma would be a kind of miracle. A Roma that can't take Scamacca or Zapata, but gets Lukaku. I wouldn't compare him to Batistuta. No. Jesus. Wouldn't compare Lukaku to Batistuta. Batistuta is one of the greatest strikers who ever lived. The negotiation that leads to the Belgian center forward would be typical of a Friedkin operation. All right, Alessandro. Anything else worth? Nah. Jacobelli, Roberto Pruzzo, ex-Roma striker, legend. He says, I think Asmun is a purchase to for Roma to protect themselves while waiting to sign an attacker in the last hours of the market. Maybe. He says you can't show up with a player who's also injured. In Verona, luckily, you'll find two important players like Dybala and Pellegrini. And then Mattioli, I'm not going to read the whole thing. He says, I am convinced that Belotti has found himself, and kind of details that Asmun did have injuries, that there's a story behind this as to why maybe it didn't work out in Leverkusen. But just to backtrack and look, here we've got the calendar of the week, match day 2. We start off tomorrow, Saturday afternoon for me, early afternoon, Frosinone Atalanta. And then Roma's match is at 2:45. Another big one at the same time as Milan versus Torino. And then in the next day, good match here would probably be Fiorentina Lecce, and then Napoli Sassuolo. I liked what I saw against for Sassuolo when they played Atalanta. They played pretty good, lost with Charles De Keletare in the final moments there, and they haven't got another. Cagliari Inter, Salernitana Udinese. Salernitana should win that. Maybe Candreva will score a bicycle kick or something just to... No, he'll probably drop off and do nothing until the next time he plays a big team. Anyway. All right, let's take a look at anything else, my friends. I feel like we covered a lot of ground today. We're probably in 45 minutes. Oh, only 35 minutes. Yeah, we spoke about so much. I think it's a good time to get back to the comments. So let's stop sharing. Okay, let me scroll back up for a second. It's not an Immobile shirt, Fabio. Absolutely not. Belotti with 2 goals tomorrow and Dybala with 1. Roma 3-1. I like that. Save the Wolves. Yeah, we could do New York Wolf Conservation Center. Great idea, Sammy. I like that. It's not a Lazio shirt. Lukaku is not better than Tammy. Well, Tammy's out till May. So, yeah. Paul says they ruined the greatest anthem, shortening Roma, Roma, Roma. Halfway, the music drops out and it turns to chaos. Ruined the most aspiring song ever. Don't be surprised if we sell Kambula and Karsdorp for 25 million and Chelsea tells us to shut up and gives us a 50 million because we were speaking. Maybe. Lukaku looks like he spent preseason in McDonald's. This is what I was worried about. I don't know what he's been up to because last season when he reported to training for Inter, Lukaku looked really big. Are we going to get the same version? Well, even if we do, let's just pray that, he gets himself back into shape. Lukaku will help us like Dzeko, strong on the ball. Tammy had his problems last year. He did. I think there was still a lot of hope for him, but he definitely did. Immobile played 2 years in Pescara, the best years Pescara had. The Maestro Zeman. Yeah, that team was Verratti, Insigne, and Immobile. And that's how they got promotion back into Serie A. That was a fun team to watch. They were like teenagers, like 19, 18 at that point, I'm pretty sure. And Zeman just had them going out and balling up, doing a really good job. That was a really good, fun team to watch. So, got a lot of comments on Twitter about this. Added 75 followers just on Twitter today. Really cool. So, thanks, guys. If you're one of those who came over to this page from that, it's been excellent. So, and I think I mentioned this before. This was the most tracked flight, the one with Pinto and Ryan Friedkin over to Stamford Bridge. Over 3,000 people were monitoring it on whatever website people use. So, guys, it seems like a shame, to wrap things up with 39 people in right now. Here we are. We covered a lot of ground. We did the Mourinho press conference, which I'll post on. I'm going to post it in the comments here. If anyone just wants to take a further look at this, I'll make it easy for you. Here we go. And Sven says he has mixed emotions about Lukaku, but afraid he's just seeing Roma as a paycheck and won't perform. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the bright side of that, Sven, is that Lukaku has 2 options here. Either he's going to take one last holiday, and then he's never going to get a big contract again, and he won't really be selling himself, or he puts the work in, sells himself big time, and then for his next contract, he can say, hey, look, I did this, this, and that. Hey, Saudi Arabia, you should pay me 60 million euros a year because I'm going to score you 30 goals in your league. Maybe, right? That's what we hope. Okay. On another note, finished season 1 of Ted Lasso. It's very good. I kind of feel a little bad for Jamie. Don't tell me what happens, but I feel like he's going to get loaned back now that Ted Lasso's team's in the championship. So I guess I should put spoiler alert, but I think everybody's watched it pretty much. So, yeah, I feel bad for seeing the Roy Kent, a.k.a. Roy Keane. I feel bad seeing him get older and miss a step because I kind of relate to him being a little bit slower with the game. I play with 16, 17, and 18-year-olds every now and then, like once a week sometimes. They're fast, man. These kids are fast. They put the work in. They're good. They want to play college ball. And they're just really quick, whether they're doing body feints or step overs or just straight up sprinting. It's like you play with these kids, these young guys, teenagers, young 20s. Yeah, like that's not that long ago for me. But you look at how fast they are, and it's just remarkable. It's crazy. Anyway, let me know if you're watching Ted Lasso too, guys. Don't forget, throw a like in. Let me know if there's anything I missed. Anything you want to tell me, you can leave it in the comments. Everything's recorded. So I think a bunch of people watch this stuff after this is posted. We will talk soon, guys. Thank you very much. Ciao. Forza Roma.